Alright. Hello, my name is Jose Sanchez, and this is my speech project that I'll be presenting to you guys. My presentation is going to be about Game of Thrones. And what I will be talking about is, after watching the marathon of Game of Thrones, and I really enjoyed the show. And so I would like to share my experience with the show and its story, and how if you could watch the show, then you will remember this show for years to come, and it will be talked about for quite a while. So it's better if you hop on the bandwagon now, since everybody's gonna be talking about it. So I am really interested in the topic because it's a show that I grew up on me. I didn't expect it to grow up on me, but it did, and I'm glad it did because I learned quite a lot of things from the show, and I like things I will never forget. And I hope you guys could carry on this and see you and experience it for yourselves too. Also, well, the story is it's about a family with royal blood, and it takes a journey across all the lands and discover who they really are and the places they get to meet and how they all evolved to conquer the game, and that's the Game of Thrones. All right, so basically, my main thesis is to watch the show and really get to experience it for yourself and why it's the most talked about show in the last few years. And I'll be talking about four key points. These four main points. First is the connection. You really get to see a connection between all the characters and even yourself involved with the story, as you feel like you've known that character for a long time. Also, the development of the characters. You get to see them develop from children to young adults, from old adults to old, and you see how the story changes as you lose some characters, you gain new characters. Everything just evolves the development of the story. And it's also very story driven. Like I said, characters die. It's really hardcore about their story. They really want you to feel like it's not going to be a happy ending or very tragic. It's going to keep you up and down. It's going to average, and you're really going to enjoy watching how characters and the story evolves. And finally, educational. Of course, there's an educational purpose to this. You get to see most of the filming is in beautiful landscape. You think it's all fictional, maybe it's like a green screen, but no, most of the stuff they do record is real, and it's pretty amazing. And you also get to learn about how life back then was, how brutal it was, how religion played a big part, how having a tyrant control all the kingdoms really affected each of the kingdoms, and see a lot of like backstabbing and like a lot of educational things that you might have not expected from a TV show like this, especially a sci-fi show. Let's start with the first point, the connection. Well, you get attached to the characters in a way you would never imagine, and it's a pretty big like grip you have on the characters, because I found myself crying at times when a character died, and it was just really sad seeing some of the characters go. Maybe even sometimes really happy seeing a character go, happy that one of them died off. But yeah, and yeah, but now talking about the development of the characters for the next one, the whole show, it took over 8 years to make, so you get to see the development of like a lot of kids in the show grow up, and you get to see it go from like some weak fragile kid to a strong knight, maybe king, queen, warrior, uh, whatever you name it. And you really get to see how each one grows up, especially if you just watch all the seasons back to back. You can see a big difference in how like the characters grow, and you can really tell how they've changed physically and mentally. So for my next transition, it's gonna be for the story driven. The story driven is the show. The show talks a lot about the characters being killed off, like I said, and you never know who will die next, and gives you the feeling that not everything has a happy ending, and that the show is really serious about having a compelling story, and you never know. You just never know. And for my next point was the educational. Yes, like yes, even Game of Thrones is a sci-fi show that has a lot of educational background to it. Most of the places they film are real places, and shows you the realistic views of the world that you might have just thought it was a fantasy, but they're actually real living places that are you can go visit right now on your own, and it will be a nice view to see. And yeah, also you get to learn about the Crow Pass and how much of the how we advance in society, and we really get to like see how the real struggle was. Like you couldn't just call someone like, hey, um, this tyrant is trying to assassinate you, or hey, watch out, there's some guy to kill you, or like, hey, like winter is coming, you gotta get out of there. It's there's gonna be White Walkers coming soon. But yeah, but to end it all, to conclude, so I pointed out a few reasons why you should watch Game of Thrones, and those things that I spoke about were the connection, the development, the story driven, and the educational. And well, just to end it all off, so now that you have learned why you should watch Game of Thrones, you should go watch it and experience it for yourself. Maybe you can start a fandom about it, and nothing more than just a powerful story. It really will grow on you, and I really hope you guys watch it. And that's it for my speech project.